Hey there, lovely people. Welcome to Be Your Best You with Tash and Becky, your go-to hangout for all things spiritual, subconscious, and downright magical. We're here to sprinkle a little mystical wisdom into your everyday life and help you level up your reality.
Picture this as your cosmic coffee date, where we chat about the unseen world, blend in some psychology vibes and stir up the subconscious magic. Get ready to be the queen of your own reality, live a life that lights you up and have a blast doing it.
So grab your latte or your tea and let's dive into another episode of Be Your Best You, where the mystical meets the mundane and your best life awaits.
Cheers to creating magic together.
Let's do this.
Hello! Hi! Welcome back to another episode of Be Your Best You with Tash
And Becky.
How are you all doing? Today, we thought that it was, I had a thought the other day. I was like, how have I not done this already?
Yeah.
How have we not spoken about this?
I know.
Obviously, from the title, they know already. I always think like we've got like a surprise coming. They're like, oh, they don't even know what we're talking about. And clearly they already do know. So, but we're actually talking about hypnotherapy and hypnosis.
Yeah.
Because although we've alluded to hypnotherapy and hypnosis in a lot of our talks, we haven't actually spoken through it.
No.
And I feel like it's actually really important.
Yes.
Because there's still so many misconceptions around hypnotherapy or hypnosis. Like they're two different things, and I will be explaining them.
Yeah.
Because it's, in my opinion, oh gosh, I keep touching this microphone. Sorry if that's just made a noise. I need to keep my hands to myself. I'm so handsy.
Sit on those
I
hands.
know. In my opinion, hypnotherapy using hypnosis is such a powerful, incredible tool.
Amazing.
That we can all use on our. You don't need to have a hypnotherapist per se. It helps if you do, because it's more guided and it's more the work that we do in hypnotherapy needs to be facilitated by an outside person, really, because as we've said so many times in these podcasts, it's really hard to see yourself. You because you have your beliefs and beliefs are the truth to you. It's really hard to see outside of them. And to see kind of like, I don't know, just where you're at, where you're coming from, your lens of how you see the world, which is why it's helpful to have a hypnotherapist.
Definitely. And then I think when you've had, say, hypnotherapy sessions with you, for example, once you've come to the end of your course, I think you've learned so much about it. You can then go on and work it into your everyday going forward.
Yes.
But you get the teaching from the hypnotherapist, don't you? That's, I think, really important.
When you work with me, you do, because I think I know not all hypnotherapists work the same. We've all been trained in very different ways. And also with me, you know, this is why I started up my membership for hypnotherapists as well, because I learned, I did a great hypnotherapy course and I came out understanding a lot more than a lot of hypnotherapists, or being taught a lot more than a lot of hypnotherapists are taught, but I still felt like there were gaps and that things didn't fit together, and I didn't quite understand why I was doing certain things. This is not a promotion for my membership, but if there are any hypnotherapists or hypnotherapists in traiing listening out there, I do have a membership where I teach all of my things the way that I do hypnotherapy. So if you want to know more information about that, let me know.
Yes.
Oh, shameless plug. It just I wasn't even planning on doing that, but anyway, going back to my original point. This is why I did create the membership, because when I came out of my hypnotherapy diploma, I wanted things to make more sense. I wanted to understand things. I knew it worked. I knew what I had been taught had validity, had merit, and I could see why it would work, but I didn't understand why. And me, as you probably all know now, I know you know, I have to understand why I'm doing something, because then I can use my initiative and I can use my intuition and I can do it myself in my own way
and fill in those gaps that you felt you had coming from your course, from your training.
Exactly. And that's why the spiritual journey that I was going on at the same time as learning hypnotherapy, though they were separate things, it was so
They're so connected,
They're
aren't
so,
they?
yeah, and I just think I was so lucky. Was I lucky, or was it all planned? Was it just the way it was supposed to be?
Yeah.
That I was on both of these journeys at the same time, because they could help each other. So my spiritual learnings just enhanced my hypnotherapy in so many ways I can't even explain. But my hypnotherapy also enhanced my spiritual journey, because I realized that hypnosis is a part of us. The state of hypnosis is who we are in so many ways, but it's actually also really, really useful to be able to help you move forward in your spiritual journey as well. And I do believe that because of those two things, that's why my hypnotherapy is so effective for my clients. It's why I started up the membership, was why my hypnotherapists were coming to me and saying, how are you doing this? Like, what are you doing that's different? And it was because I was incorporating the spiritual aspect of humans. So obviously with hypnotherapy, you're focusing on the mind mostly, but it wasn't enough for me, because I realized that we are actually, from the spiritual journey, we are mind, body, and soul, and they all are so interconnected. They all work together, and you cannot have one without the other. And so I felt like when I was working on the mind, I was missing a trick, because I needed to get the body and the soul involved as well, which is why I actually ended up, it was a big reason that I ended up creating my programs rather than just working session by session, because I wanted to address the body and the soul part aspects. And you can't just do that in a session by session regular hypnotherapy course.
And I don't think they are, I mean, I might be wrong, but they don't seem to be teaching hypnotherapy like
not in that way. Not in my awareness.
No.
I mean, again, there's thousands probably of hypnotherapy courses out there. I obviously have done mine. I've spoken to now a lot of hypnotherapists in all over, so there's people all over the world in my membership, and so they're all having different types of training, and different countries teach it differently, and I still haven't come across yet a training course that's teaching the way that I am. And I just think you're missing a trick. Now, that's not to say there aren't people out there. I'm sure there are plenty of hypnotherapists out there who have kind of gone on the same path as me, and are incorporating the spiritual aspect and the body aspect of it as well. But this is the great thing, isn't it? Like, it's everybody's take on hypnotherapy can be different. So hypnotherapy is like an art. I don't think there's one way of, you can only do it this way. And anyone who teaches you or tells you that, I would say be wary. Because when I started to learn to trust my intuition and go with how I felt guided to do it, obviously I had to know the main principles of hypnotherapy and what we're doing. But again, I wasn't taught all the stuff about the subconscious mind and how the subconscious mind works. I went out and learned that for myself. And I think it's a necessity, because that's what we're working with when we're using hypnosis. And the more I learned about the subconscious mind and the spiritual aspect of the subconscious mind, and because, you know, there's so many views of the subconscious as well. And I think you have to have a really well-rounded view. So I went and researched everything, the whole spectrum, and I appreciate parts from all of it. But we're all going to take, again, it goes back to these lenses and how we see the world. I'm going to take a completely different view of it from maybe someone else. And that's a good thing. Because you're going to be attracted to the person that fits for you. You know, there'll be a lot of people out there who just think, I have to work with her. But then there might be other people that go, I'm sure there are other people that would be just think, oh, she's not for me. I need someone who's a bit more facts, scientific, professional. But you know what I mean when I say professional. You know, I'm very professional, but like, I'm also very chill, and I'm this. When people come and see me,
that's right.
I'm not wearing any shoes. I'm in my like comfy clothes, and I'll say it how it is, you know, I'm not stuffy and, you know, come in, sit down, take a seat.
Exactly.
No, we have a laugh. But that's not for everyone. No. Anyway, I feel like we've gone on a bit of a tangent, but I think it's a good intro, like, just to say
to your angle, where you're coming from when it comes to hypnotherapy. Absolutely. And like I said, since I started incorporating this whole human as a holistic being, mind, body, and soul, my hypnotherapy results, sessions have just skyrocketed, have just on another level. And I say that because people aren't just getting the results, the transformations that they came in to see me for. In fact, the original thing that they came in to see me for kind of falls to the wayside, and they're just having
incredible shifts in the way they see themselves in their whole lives, because we're working on a much, much deeper level. Sorry, guys. Oh, wow. That's a lot of notifications. So we're working on a much, much deeper level. And they see their lives change because of it.
Yeah.
And it's all because of working on this holistic
because you've
being.
gone through a journey, haven't you, being a hypnotherapist?
Yes.
So therefore now you're seeing the results and the evidence of this journey and where it's got you to now.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good important point as well. I think because I've been on my own self-healing journey, spiritual journey, healing journey, you know, everything like that, that's made me a better hypnotherapist. Yeah. Because when I'm learning things about myself, I can take that and apply it to my clients as well. It's like every time I get a layer deeper on myself, I can take my clients a layer deeper. And I'll never stop working on myself. I never will. So that means that I know my sessions are only going to get better and better. Yeah. And I think that's a really important point for a hypnotherapist. Yeah. You want to have a hypnotherapist that's done the work on themselves, or that is doing the work on themselves, because it's very easy to spout advice. Yeah. And do what you're, you know, told to do with your clients. But if you're not there with them, if you're not doing it yourself, you cannot understand it on that kind of a level. But anyway, let's really go back to the basics. Yeah. Let me tell you what hypnosis is. Yeah. Okay. So hypnosis, when you're in hypnosis, you're in an altered state of consciousness, right? So what I mean by that is right now, me and you, we're talking, you're concentrating on what I'm saying, taking it in. I'm talking to you and concentrating on what I'm teaching you. So we're in a certain brainwave state. We're in a certain state of consciousness. If you want to get scientific, it's called beta. So you're in a beta brainwave state. Right. It's like just very concentrated. It's what we're in when we're working, you know, when we're kind of doing things that we have to focus our concentration on, right? So that's beta. Then you have the brainwave states, they get slower. So then you have alpha and theta. Then you have delta, and that's deep sleep. Right. Okay. So alpha and theta are the brainwave states that you go into when you're in hypnosis. Right. And so alpha is a higher level. You get into theta, you're getting closer to delta, which is deep sleep. So it's the lower level of consciousness. So I'm aiming to get you, most of the time you're in alpha. When I'm doing a past life regression, you're going into theta, which is why you need to go deeper to access those deeper memories and to be able to allow your higher self to channel through, because you've really got to be into it in a state of kind of like allowing for that to happen. Right. But in my regular hypnotherapy sessions and getting you into an alpha state, what is that? That is an altered state of consciousness where you're focused, like I said, right now, we're focusing on the external world. You're focusing on what I'm saying. You're looking at me. You're very much out in your external world. Yeah. In hypnosis, when you go into hypnosis, into that alpha state, your focus becomes internal. Right. So you're really focused on your inner self, which is where we get the access to your subconscious, because everything, as we've said before in previous episodes, everything is happening within you. Nothing is actually happening in the external world. The external world is a projection. It's what you're creating from your consciousness. Right. And you're creating that into matter, into form through your consciousness. And your consciousness comes through all your beliefs, your limiting beliefs, and, you know, the lenses that you've created. So, right. So hopefully that makes it clear as to why you would want to go into a state of hypnosis. By going into a state of hypnosis, you're getting access to your inner consciousness, your inner mind, your inner self, which is where all the answers lay. It's where all the wisdom is. Yeah. And it's where we can, you know, kind of hack the system, so to speak, your computer code. That's what it is. So, you know, it's easy to get yourself into a state of hypnosis. You're in a state of hypnosis. You all are in a state of hypnosis many times throughout the day. Yeah. Okay, so like the most common ones that you do every single day without fail, twice a day, is just as you're falling asleep. Hence, I get my clients to listen to their hypnosis audios at that point, and I'll talk more about that later. So just as you're falling asleep, because like I said, you go through those brainwave states down into delta, into that deep sleep. Yeah. And also as you're waking up in the morning, same thing, reversed, you come back up. Yeah. Right. So when you're in that hazy state, like whether you're going to sleep or waking up, but you know that state where you're like, your alarm goes off and you kind of hit snooze and you're like, oh, you're kind of aware that you should be waking up, but you're drifting back into that kind of sleepy state. Your mind, you might go back into the dream that you were dreaming, you know, do you know what I mean? That kind of hazy state where it's like, this is actually really nice. That is hypnosis. That's your brain's in a state of hypnosis,
right?
And you're like wide open to suggestion. Your subconscious mind is at the forefront because your conscious mind that you use in beta, like we're using now, goes back,
right?
And your subconscious mind comes forward and, like I said, becomes a sponge. And this is why you're suggestible in this state, which is why it's so important. And I know we've spoken about this before. It's why it's so important that you are very, very careful what you are consuming just before you go to bed and what you are thinking and consuming when you wake up. And when I say consuming, I don't just mean food. Obviously that's important, but what I mean is in your mind, like what you're looking at, what you're focusing your consciousness on, because we're all consciousness. So much easier when you think of yourself as consciousness. You are consciousness in this I'm gonna say it meat suit. You are consciousness in this meat suit. And when you think about that, you can it kind of helps you get a better idea.
Definitely. You can like to separate the two, can't you? You can detach.
Because I think the more you can get on board that you are consciousness, the more you can become aware of that. It's when things start changing for you.
And it takes a while, doesn't it?
It's practice.
But you can't just go, Tash says,
no,
see yourself as consciousness.
No.
But you're planting the seed.
Exactly.
And it's getting to that point, isn't it?
Yes.
It is a process.
It is a process, but it's a process of like self-realization, I suppose, isn't it? You are, when you become aware that you are aware, and it sounds a bit mind-bending, and some people might be listening thinking, what, those words don't mean anything, I'm so confused, but other people might be going, no, I think I know I know that. It's like, ask yourself, you're having thoughts, right? You're having thoughts, but you are actually not your thoughts. You are the awareness that is aware of the thoughts. I know. Let that settle in. It's really hard. And even now, like sometimes I have flashes where I'm like, I'm so aware that I am aware. You know, of, it's almost like you zoom out of your body almost. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm just watching myself being aware of these thoughts.
So detached.
Yes. So the thoughts that you're having when you're like, oh my God, I'm so worried about doing this presentation at work. I'm so worried about what people are going to think of me. You are not, that is not you. No. Those thoughts are not you. You are the consciousness, the awareness that is observing those thoughts. And when you can understand that, and again, it takes your mind a little bit of time to get through that. But when you can keep yourself aware of that and remind yourself of that all the time, that's how you detach from those thoughts, and you can almost like let them pass by you, and you can go, that's interesting, that's an interesting thought, but that's not me. And you can focus your consciousness, because that's what you are, consciousness. I'll say it again, focus your consciousness on a different thought, and then watch that thought start coming through. And then that's where you see, like, you can hold on to that thought for a little bit, like a nice thought, and then before you even know it, you don't even realize, but you've gone back to that old thought, and it shows you what a habit you are of thinking negative thoughts. But but when you can detach yourself from them and realize that you are just the awareness behind that, observing those thoughts, that's what can help you to start changing them. Does that make sense?
It does.
Well, we've gone a bit deep. It's not what I was. It's not what I was aiming for in this conversation. I'm trying to keep it simple with hypnosis, but here we go. Here we are. Okay, right. So going right back to the simplicity, that is why I am taking you into. That is what hypnosis is. Oh, I was telling you, you go into hypnosis every time you go to sleep and every time you wake up, but you are in hypnosis all the time throughout the day. People are scared of hypnosis. You know that my number one question when I have discovery calls with clients, because by the time they come into me, we've already had these conversations, but on my discovery calls, they're like, I'm worried I won't be able to go into hypnosis. Will I be able to get into hypnosis? I'm scared of going into hypnosis. I'm like, you're in hypnosis all the time. You're in hypnosis when you're driving your car. Perfect example.
Brushing
Most people,
your teeth.
anything. So, you know, when you're driving in the car and you're like, How did I get here?
Oh my God.
I mean, we all do that. Come on, we all do it. It's because you're in hypnosis.
Yeah.
Right? When you're watching telly,
Yeah.
you are in an absolute state of hypnosis. This is why, and I might have said this on a podcast before, but this is why adverts, commercials exist.
Yeah.
Because they know you're in a state of hypnosis.
Yeah.
They know that you're suggestible. And so, bam, they put in all these things to make you go, oh, yes, I want that. Don't know what.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's dangerous. Don't watch anything. No.
Anymore.
If you're going to watch TV, record it and then fast through the adverts.
That's what I do.
Yeah, and this isn't about fear.
But now for a whole other reason.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's not because adverts boring. No, I know. And this isn't fear mongering at all. It's just about being aware. You know, I know that I am in hypnosis. You're in hypnosis when you're scrolling on your phone. Again, it's no different, you know. And this is, again, after everything I've just explained now of what hypnosis is, that your conscious mind goes to the back, your conscious discerning mind that can go, no, that's not healthy for me, or that's not good for me, that's not a good decision, that's gone. Your subconscious mind, who's just a computer, who's just like, you know, a sponge, comes forward and goes, tell me everything, and I'll absorb it in. I don't have any judgment. I don't know what's the truth and what's not the truth. You know, I don't know what's right or wrong. I don't know what's good or bad. I'm just a sponge, and I will just take it all in. So then you're scrolling on social media. You're not in that, like, the best. Most of the time when you're scrolling aimlessly on social media, you're not probably in the best frame of mind. You're not in a positive, empowered state. And then you start seeing all these things that, you know, other people's, you know, gorgeous lives, or you see adverts for things that, you know, you should have this, and you should buy this because you want to look younger, or you need this because this is not good for your health, or it is good for your health, or whatever. And you're just literally taking it all in. And it's not good. You don't want that kind of stuff in your mind. And this is why you've got to be careful. Well, it depends. If you've got to curate your social media feeds. Make sure you're following people that empower you, or accounts that empower you. Because then flip it the other way. If you're following accounts that make you feel good, that you've specifically chosen because you know they give you empowering feelings, they make you feel positive, they make you feel good about yourself, they make you feel powerful, and then you're scrolling in a state of hypnosis, wow, you're getting so much good stuff in your subconscious mind. You know, you can see it's very, very easy. It's very, very easy to do things the right way, or to do things, I don't want to say the wrong way, but disempowering way. Empowering, disempowering. And you're in control of it. You just don't know you are.
No.
You know, if you don't know about this state of hypnosis, if you don't understand that's what's happening with you, of course you can't be aware.
No.
But once you know, you can't unknow. So I guarantee everybody listening to this now is going to be so much more aware when they're on their phones. When they're scrolling through, like, am I in hypnosis? I better be careful what I'm looking at. Perfect. Great. That's my aim. Because when you have that awareness, the problem is we're all walking around and we don't have the awareness.
Right.
When you have the awareness, then you're in control, and then you can do something. Now, what you need to do is, it's no good just doing it once, because you could do it, be aware, and then not do it anymore. You'll forget, and you'll go back to doing it again. The key here is repetition. Repetition, building up a habit. Every time you go on the phone, have a conscious intention. Now it's in your conscious awareness. Your job now is to take responsibility for yourself, and remind yourself every time you pick up that phone, consciously, deliberately, oh, remember, I'm in hypnosis, and I'm susceptible to things when I'm scrolling. What do I want to do? You know, and then you keep doing that, keep telling yourself, and then you've reprogrammed your mind, and then all of a sudden I don't have to tell myself anymore. I know immediately. If I start going down my social media feed, I'm like, oh, put it down, because I don't want to scroll mindlessly. But at least if I am scrolling, I know that my social media feed is positive scrolling. I just don't want to do it anyway, because I know that there's no benefit in that for me. But I don't have to think about that consciously. I've reprogrammed my mind enough that it's just automatic behavior now. Scrolling, no, stop. But anyway, so that is hypnosis. You're in a state. Now, as soon as you close your eyes, so bossy, you are already slowing your brainwaves down.
Right.
And especially you listening to my voice, you're probably in alpha already. But you are already taking yourself into a really, really light state of hypnosis because you've knocked out your main sense that connects you to the external world. You can't see around you now.
That's right.
And so already you're taking yourself into a state of hypnosis. It's as easy as that.
It's as easy as that. And you can feel the difference.
Exactly right.
Because you're bombarded with all these visuals, aren't you? Noises, light, objects.
Yeah.
And as soon as you close those eyes, it just,
it takes you in already, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It takes you in because you're blocking out a load of the world.
Yeah.
So then when I'm taking you into hypnosis, all I am doing, obviously I get you to close your eyes. Yeah. And then all I'm doing is helping you to focus yourself on your actual inner mind, on your body. There's lots of other ways that I know, like how to relax you, turn your nervous system into, rest and digest, etc. And, for my clients, they just hear my voice and they're just gone anyway.
Yeah.
They don't have to listen to the words anymore. They're just gone because they've trained their mind for it to be that way. Yeah. It doesn't take very long.
No.
And that's it. And then you're in a state of hypnosis. There's nothing magical about it. You're just focused within because we've blocked out the outside world. And this is why when you're in hypnosis, there can be loud bangs going on. There can be noisy trucks. And yes, you might hear it, but it doesn't bother you because your consciousness isn't focused on that. It's focused within. And some people just don't hear it at all.
No.
Because their consciousness is so deep within. There could be like just mania going on outside here. And I said, I'll say, oh my gosh, did you hear all that? And they're like, what? No. It's not magic. It's your consciousness.
Yeah.
Your consciousness is focused elsewhere.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, I am really trying to demystify hypnosis because people think it's this magical thing. And yes, it is magical.
Yes.
It's as a tool, it has magical effects.
Yeah.
But hypnosis itself isn't.
No, the feelings you have, the process that you go through to get into that isn't.
No.
There's no, you don't feel it hit you. It's just literally relaxation, isn't it? It's just, like you said, just closing your eyes there. And
everybody can do it.
Yeah.
Because as I've just explained to you, I just gave you a few examples. Driving in the car, when you're going to sleep and wake up, on the watching the telly, when you're in the zone, like if you're a painter and you're painting, you're in hypnosis. Or if you're dancing, or if you're reading a book and you're in, you're in that world, aren't you? You are not, when you are reading a book, you are absorbed in that world. You are not laying on your bed just before you go to bed. You are wherever you are when you're reading. That is hypnosis because you're accessing your imagination.
Yeah.
And this is a really, really important point. And I suppose I should go on to this now. So your imagination, I cannot stress how important it is and how it's the key to doing this kind of work, this getting into this magical world that we actually live in, like accessing the magic in this world. It's your imagination. And as kids, that's why kids are, they're in hypnosis until they're in a constant state of hypnosis until they're 7. I've said this before, I've explained this before, but they're so in touch with their imaginations, aren't they? That's why your world is magical as a child, because and then it's knocked out of us, isn't it? Oh, don't use your imagination. And it's like the absolute opposite of that. You have to use your imagination. Your imagination is the key to your subconscious mind. It's the language of your subconscious mind. It's what your subconscious mind uses to communicate with you and what you communicate with it with, basically. The imagination is the key, is the doorway, the language, however you want to see it. And so as a hypnotherapist, and let me just clarify then the difference between hypnosis and hypnotherapy. Hypnosis is the state, as I've just explained to you, that altered state. So it is the state that you are in. Hypnotherapy is using hypnosis as a form of therapy. That's it. That's the difference. And it's like, then because you have stage hypnosis, don't you? Which we all know, which is as amazing as it is, it kind of gives hypnotherapy a bad name.
Yeah.
it takes away the seriousness of it, because we all see people like Darren Brown and Paul McKenna and the shows, like not so much anymore, but when we were kids, definitely it was like a big thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I loved watching Paul McKenna,
Yeah.
and I was fascinated by it, but it had this air of, you know, again, the next question is what if I can't go into hypnosis? Are you going to make me cluck like a chicken?
Yeah.
You know, like, and I laugh about it because I get it. Like, I would have asked the same thing.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing before
I think we
trained.
did, didn't we?
Yeah, it's understandable. Like, I understand it.
You feel like you're maybe not going to be in control. Like
Well,
you say, we watch these people on the stage and it's all a big joke.
Yes.
Well, no one we don't want to do that when we come see you, do we?
You don't want to come and bare your soul. You're coming for a serious, serious topics, and then you're worried that I'm just going to take control of you. And it's really, really important now for everybody to understand there is no hypnotherapist or no person who can take control over you unless you give it to them.
Yeah.
Right. So I cannot control. I mean, if that was the case, I think all hypnotherapists would be very rich, wouldn't they? Because they'd be like, you're going to give loads of money. It just doesn't work like that. No. It really doesn't work like that. You are totally in control. And you know this, you've experienced it. Because even though you're in that state of hypnosis and you're relaxed, you are still aware of what's going on.
You can get up at any point.
You can open your eyes and walk out at any point.
No problem.
And it's why you have to be I've done it again. It's why I have to be so careful as a hypnotherapist, that I always say to my clients, and all my clients listening will know this, they've heard me say it, does that resonate with you? How would you say it? Let me give you an example, but tell me in your words. Yeah. And, a lot of my clients will go, no, that doesn't really resonate. Great. Tell me what does.
Yeah, I love that because so often you go see a hypnotherapist and you just do what they say. It's their words. It's their... No. But we found that very useful, didn't we? Is finding things that resonate with us. Yes. All the other stuff, just ignore that. Exactly. As soon as you find something that makes sense, go with that, listen to that. So that's great that you give them that option.
I've got to, and I'll tell you why. Yeah. Because if I say something to someone when they're in hypnosis that they don't resonate with, that doesn't feel the truth for them, it pings them up out of hypnosis straight away. Okay. So which is demonstrating to you why hypnotherapists have no control over you. Because it doesn't, if they said something that did not, and I'm just talking, I have to be careful, because even if I say a word a little bit differently, it doesn't complete, and I'm helping them. It's not like I'm saying something horrible or controlling to them. I'm helping them, but still I have to be careful, because I know how much control my clients have, and I need to do everything I can to make sure that they stay in that relaxed state, and to make sure that it is truly what they want. Yeah. And so even me helping them, saying something, that doesn't quite resonate with them, they'll bring them up. You can imagine if a hypnotherapist said something that was not very good. I don't know. I don't even know what, but whatever people are worried about making them do, you would absolutely just be like, what? Yeah. You'd come out of hypnosis in a flash. Right. And even if you didn't open your eyes, you would just be like, okay, I'm not listening to this anymore. You've gone. You've lost them. So to reiterate the point, no hypnotherapist can control you. No. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So you are allowing yourself to go into hypnosis. Yeah. So although we say, I'm taking you into hypnosis, I'm not. I'm just guiding you to take yourself into hypnosis. Right. So I always say to my clients as well, there is nothing that can stop you from going into hypnosis unless you say, I don't want to go into hypnosis, I'm not going into hypnosis. Right. You're the only one that can do that if you actively stop yourself from doing it. Yeah. And why would you do that? Because if you're coming to see me and you're paying to see me, you're not going to waste your time or my time or your money, are you? No. But so all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. So when you realise that no one's in control of you. No. You're in control of you. So that's the difference between hypnosis and hypnotherapy. Hypnotherapy is a way of using therapy to help people basically get what they want by manipulating hypnosis, getting you into a state of hypnosis so that we can access your subconscious mind. Yeah. Okay, so then, because I was talking about the stage hypnosis, wasn't I? And that's very clever. But again, I just want to quickly go back to that, actually. Stage hypnosis is real. There's no trick. There's no trick behind it. What they're doing, that person really is clucking like a chicken, but they want to. So this is the point, okay?
Yes.
Right, so when you go, I don't know if you've ever been, people listening have ever been to a hypnosis show, or maybe you've watched it, but what you'll find most of the time, and these guys are so talented, I take my hat off to them. I couldn't, I wouldn't have the balls to do it.
No.
I just couldn't. And they're so clever. And they're great at what they do. It's just a shame that people just associate hypnosis and hypnotherapy with that, because it's not. It's entertainment, right? So they're trying to entertain you, and they do a bloody good job at it.
Yeah.
But what you'll notice is at the start of a show, they'll probably get everyone to stand up or put their hands up, and he'll get people to do certain things, and he'll say, if you've done this, I don't know, like maybe they'll put their fingers, get them to put your fingers out like this, and then they'll say something, and people who move their fingers in, right, if they've done that, they'll get them to stay stood up, and they'll say anyone whose fingers haven't gone in, this is just an example, sit down, and you'll see them systematically weed out people, basically. You may have even been in a show where this has been you yourself, where you've sat down, right? They're weeding out the people who aren't naturally suggestible. The people that remain standing are highly suggestible, but they want it. They want to go up there. They like, for whatever reason, they like to be on stage. They like to have people looking at them. They want to be controlled in that situation, which is why they're suggestible. And so they've already picked someone who they know is going to go and cluck like a chicken. Because if they had picked it to any of the ones that are sat down, it just wouldn't have happened. They won't do it. And that's why there's so very few people left standing, because there's not many people like that. And therefore then they will get them to go up, and they will cluck like a chicken, and that's genuine. That's not them. They haven't got those people and said, here, I need you to do this. No, they're really truly doing it. Some people are more suggestible than others, and in some ways that's brilliant. I'd love to be highly suggestible in some way. Well, actually, I would love to be really highly suggestible, because I know that I have to be careful with how that works, because it works both ways. Like I told you, going back to the phone example, you can use it for good or bad. It's great to be highly suggestible in lots of ways, because you can reprogram your mind so much easier. I love working with really, really, you go into hypnosis so quickly, so easily. It's a pleasure to work with people like that. It really is. But you have to be careful. You have to be aware, because it does work the other way. But anyway, so that's the difference between stage hypnosis. They are actively finding people who are suggestible so they can make them do these silly things, and so they can, in inverted commas, control them. But in hypnotherapy, it is therapy. It is serious. We're using it as a form of therapy, as a form of transformation, as a form of hacking into your subconscious mind, your computer system, and reprogramming it to help you in empowering ways. And you can do that with anyone, as long as they want to do it. Again, that's where the similarity is. You have to, by sitting in that chair and signing up for my program, you have to be almost putting your hand up and saying, yes, I want to do this. That's the similarity there. But anyone can be hypnotized. And as I've explained, it's natural. And then it's just about doing the work. Obviously, again, this is where I'm trained with all my different techniques. I've got the skills that I am then able to use this natural state of hypnosis to be able to help you. And that's where it comes back to what I said, with the whole, all our hypnotherapists, we do different things, we work differently, and why I have my hypnotherapy is like supercharged, because I have the soul aspect and the body aspect as well, because that's what we are. We're holistic beings. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, like the questions that I get asked. I'm trying to put people's mind at rest. What I'm really trying to, get across here is the power of hypnotherapy, but that it's not this weird, magical woo-woo thing, almost joke in a way. Because like the stage hypnosis, people do think it's a bit of a joke, don't they? And I do get it. But it's not a joke. And hypnosis has been used for probably for all time.
Yeah.
And people just knew how to use it. We just don't realize anymore.
No.
You know, and again, going back to this whole imagination thing, I basically guide you to use your imagination to talk to your subconscious mind and to give it instructions whilst you're in this suggestible state, to give it instructions as to how you want to behave. You know, so I'll do kind of like visualizations where I'll get the client to imagine their future self behaving in the ways that they want to behave. So say someone came in...
Is that before they go into hypnosis?
No. Whilst they're in hypnosis, because they're suggestible at this point. Because not only are you suggestible, but when you go into this state of hypnosis, you get access to your inner wisdom. And this is like a whole nother level. You know, like you have, like I always say to my clients, to everyone, you have all the answers inside you. You have them there. My job isn't to give you the answers, and this is where like it's different to like counseling or therapy, where you know someone's telling you what's wrong with you, and I think this is what's wrong, and you know, though we have these conversations where we're trying to work it out, actually I go right to a certain point, I'm like, right, let's stop talking now, let's just get in and do the hypnosis. That's where I want to do the work.
That's what I love about it. It's like with you, there's no right or wrong.
No,
and you'll always say, won't you, like if I'll say, oh, you know, oh, you've done this and this for me, you'll go, no, you did it. You just facilitated it, but you do it.
Exactly.
And it's a very, like you're saying with other like counsellors, psychologists, they're sort of like, I suppose they've got sort of bog standard responses to things, what's right, what's wrong, what they want you to, you know, what a normal, in quotes, should be thinking and doing, whereas yours is tailored to the individual. And if you think of it on a spiritual level, that soul, and you're tailoring it to that soul who, like you said, has all the answers and comes in with all the answers and all the wisdom for you.
And that is a perfect example of how, you know, at the beginning I said I came out knowing all this information. I knew that it was valid. I knew that it worked, but I didn't quite understand why I was doing it. That's a perfect example. Like when we were taught, you know, this is an NLP technique, which I'm also trained in NLP, so I'll use that within my hypnosis as well. And, you know, they'll say, do these future timeline, it's called timeline, like visualizations. And I was like, right, okay, so I get that I know that it works because I know I've seen evidence of, you know, other people have done it, you know, but I was like, why? I don't understand why. And it was when I started kind of digging more into the subconscious, understanding the subconscious mind, but also the soul aspect. Now, when I'm working with my clients, I have such a wider understanding. So I know when they're coming in here and they're sat on that chair and they're going into hypnosis, I truly feel like I'm working with their soul, that I'm allowing them to get back in touch with their soul, which is something that we all need to do, because we're all walking around so disconnected. Well, a lot of us are walking around so disconnected from our souls, which is why we feel so rubbish, to put it bluntly. It's why we feel numb. It's why we feel like we should be doing something but we're not. It's why we feel unfulfilled. You know, all those types of feelings is because we're disconnected from our soul. And when you come in here and have hypnotherapy, this is what I mean when the transformations go so much deeper. They walk out, my clients walk out with so much more than they originally came in for, because we're connecting you back to your soul. We're allowing your soul to come through you in that state of hypnosis, where all your answers are. It has all the answers. It knows exactly what you want. It knows exactly what you're capable of. It knows your power. Your human doesn't understand it because it has all these limiting beliefs. It has all these limitations. And when we take you into hypnosis, we're bypassing those limitations, getting into your soul and allowing the truth of that to come through. So then when I get you to do the timeline and imagine yourself in your future behaving how you want to behave, that's when stuff starts coming to the clients. You know, I'll ask them what they see afterwards, and they'll go, oh my God, I saw myself as this and this. And you don't just see yourself as it, you feel it. You feel those feelings that every day in their walking lives, they feel the opposite of that. You know, they feel unconfident, they feel powerless. And yet when they're there in hypnosis, they have all these feelings as if it's real of their power. You know, they'll say, oh my God, I looked so confident. I was like radiating light. I was powerful. I felt strong. that's real. That's your truth. That, like, I'm getting passionate about it now, because I just, you know, you get access to that when you go into hypnosis.
It's like the first time that you can have control over your own programming, because everything up until that point to when they come and see you, you have been programmed out of your control.
Yeah.
It's how everyone else has programmed you from child to that point. Like you're saying, like even things on the TV, just the music you listen to, let alone all the stuff when you're a child with your teachers and your parents and your siblings and your friends and all of that you've been programmed with out of your control. And now you can reprogram everything how you want it to be.
And it opens you up, like doing that kind of work. And that's just one example, the whole future timeline thing. There's loads of stuff we do. But that work opens you up to who you truly are, to the possibilities that you couldn't have even imagined. You know, when I have people come in and I say, right, what do you want? And people really struggle to say what they want, can say what they don't want for ages, but they don't know what they actually do want.
No.
And that's one of my, again, on the solve parts, why I made my programs. I knew it was no good having people come in and just say, right, okay, what do you want? Yeah, I'll get it for you. I want them to know what they truly want, because most people don't know what they want. I'm like, let me help you find out what you want on a deep level, not the big house, not I want that, you know, to find the love of my life. No, what do those things give you? So you want security, you want to feel connection, you want to feel love, you want to feel freedom. You know, we get to the root cause of things, and then all of a sudden it opens up your mind, your world, allows your consciousness to expand and see opportunities that are already surrounding you. They're already there, but because you weren't focused on them, you couldn't see them. And so that's why, like, going into hypnosis again it's just so transformational. It's so powerful, because it's giving you access to information that you've blocked yourself off from. It's always there, and you can always get it. You don't need to have a hypnotherapist to get you there, but sometimes you need that catalyst, don't you? And I think before, because again, I've been talking for ages, but I feel like the last thing then that leads me on to really is to say about the, you know, I alluded to it earlier, the hypnosis audios. So you don't need to have, like I just said, you don't need to have a hypnotherapist. You don't have to. You can absolutely use hypnosis on your own, for yourself. Now, yes, you don't get to do all the deep kind of revisiting regression type work where you go back and you heal the past, etc., etc. You could do with someone to facilitate that for you, but the reprogramming side of things you absolutely can do by yourself. And let's go back to what I said, like when you naturally go into hypnosis, just before you're falling asleep, that is when you want to listen to a hypnosis audio. Okay, so you know, you turn the lights off, you're getting yourself turned over to go to sleep, you press play on your hypnosis audio. And as you close your eyes, you're blocking out, you're going into hypnosis already. And then, of course, you're so relaxed in the evening. The great thing about doing it in the evening is you're relaxed anyway, because you know your body's already trained to go to sleep at that time. But listening to a hypnosis audio before you go to bed has just such far-reaching benefits anyway. It helps you sleep better. It helps you to train your nervous system that, you know, when we turn the lights off, we go to sleep and we know what to do. It takes you into rest and digest, out of fight or flight. When your nervous system is regulated, you can start healing yourself. It's when your body heals. You know, it's when your gut, everything just starts all the blood and all the, you know, everything starts coming back online, basically. So your gut can start digesting properly, hence rest and digest. You know, your heartbeat slows down, everything goes into calmness. And that has far-reaching benefits, because how many people probably go to sleep highly stressed and then have a really stressful night's sleep? That's because you're having a stressful night, because your body isn't relaxing, it isn't going into rest and digest, it's still in fight or flight, which again is a whole nother thing, isn't it? We're just chronically living in fight or flight, which is just causing all the illness, it's causing the disease. And so listening to hypnosis, you are having, forget about the reprogramming benefits, which I'm just going to talk about, just listening to that consistently every night, you are creating health for yourself. You are making yourself healthier. You are making yourself mentally more healthy. If that makes sense.
I think some people worry, don't they, if, oh, what if I fall asleep?
Yes.
and don't listen to the whole thing.
Fine. Yeah, absolutely. And so as you drop down into these deeper levels of hypnosis, you won't hear it. You'll feel like you're asleep, because obviously we just think as soon as we lose our awareness, we think we're asleep. But it actually takes a little bit longer for us to get into that deep delta sleep. Your subconscious mind is always recording. It's always on, and it is absorbing it, whether your conscious mind knows it or not. I mean, it's great that you don't know, that you don't hear it. Most people say, oh, I hear you go to get to 5 and then I'm gone. Like, that's brilliant. Perfect. Don't worry, because it's still going in. You're still absorbing it.
Do you think even more so? Because when we're asleep, the subconscious comes to the forefront.
There's no, this is why I say to people when I'm making their recordings for them, specifically for them, I'm like, remember guys, this isn't for your conscious mind to hear, because your conscious mind will go, what? That's not true. No, don't believe that. Well, no, I'm not. I don't love myself, Whereas when your conscious mind goes to bed, goes nights, your subconscious mind comes forward and it just goes, oh,
and it wants to listen to everything.
I do love myself. I am powerful. I do speak up for myself. It just takes it all in. So yes, you will fall asleep. That's the aim. That's another side benefit. But know that your subconscious mind is still listening and absorbing. I always say, who do you think wakes you up in the middle of the night to go for a wee? It's not your conscious mind, it's your subconscious. It's like, hello, wake up, Bex, you need a wee. And then your conscious mind comes back online to get you to walk to the toilet and actually go for a wee. So yes, that's not a problem. And so with these hypnosis audios, obviously it's great when you're working with a hypnotherapist like me, because you will get audios that are completely, especially with me, I mean, maybe not all hypnotherapists do it, I don't know, but I tailor mine completely to my clients. So I'm hitting everything that you want to hear, but also that I know, because I've done this long enough now that I know what you need to hear on a deeper level for your beliefs, that what you need to hear, and I will just hammer it home. And so you're going to bed every night listening to these empowering, incredible new beliefs. And you don't even have to do anything. You're just going to sleep. It doesn't take any of time. And then it is getting absorbed. And like we said, most people fall asleep. And yet it's so funny, because I have my clients say this all the time. They'll go, oh, I listened to the recording when I was driving, like when I was, disclaimer, don't listen to the hypnosis bit. Just listen to the end part where I'm doing all the beliefs, etc. But they say, oh, I listened to your recording in the day. And it's so funny, because I don't know what you say, but when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, that's the thoughts that I've been having.
Oh, wow.
I've been doing, now I realise why I've been doing that, because you told me this.
When I was asleep.
Exactly.
And, how cool is that?
They prove it. It gets proven to my clients, because I know it's easy for me to say, oh, don't worry, it does work. It goes in. My clients are literally experiencing it and seeing it for themselves. And it's just, it just brings me so much joy. I just love it so much.
So clever,
it's so powerful. I never go to bed without listening to my recordings. I make my own for myself, depending on what's going on with me at the moment. And a night that I go to bed that I don't listen to my hypnosis audio is wasted, in my opinion. And so again, like I said, it's helpful if you see a hypnotherapist, because we can give you one that's tailored to you. Most good hypnotherapists will. But there are hypnosis audio tracks on YouTube, online. Search up one that has a rough, if you know roughly what you want to work on, even if it's just as broad as confidence. This is what I mean. It helps when it's more specific. But it's a good start. It's a good way to try it out. You want to work on your money beliefs. There'll be ones for money beliefs. You want to work on anxiety. There'll be ones for keeping you calm throughout the day. There's lots of them out there. And if you're a bit worried about what you're listening to, I always suggest to people, just play it through the day so you can hear what you're going to bed listening to. Then you don't have to worry about it. Put your mind at rest. And but the most important thing is you stay consistent. You have to listen to it consistently, because like anything else, nothing's magic fix instant. You have to do the work. And this is just the minimum amount of work to press play on something before you go to sleep. Exactly. Something that is going to help you sleep as well, and something that's going to literally change your mind. So you have to be consistent.
And you have to, because that's when the neural pathways are created, isn't it? So it needs the time to solidify that
Yes, we all learn by repetition.
Yeah.
We know we do. It's why you have to revise for exams. It's why when you're learning to drive a car, you have to keep practicing. The saying practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Because like you said, on a scientific level, you are making new neural connections, and it takes time for those neurons to build that path. Just imagine the path through the woods. So you're in the woods, and you know, you start stepping through over all the stinging nettles and the nettles to make a walkway. Yeah, it starts getting a bit flatter, but it's still, oh God, you do have to kind of just crawl your way through. But then people start seeing a track and they're like, oh, is that a path there? I'll walk down there.
Yeah.
And then they start walking on it more. And then the more and more people walk over it, the more that pathway is created. And then it actually becomes a pathway.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing in your mind when you're making these new neural connections. You have to use it. You have to use it continuously. Use it or lose it. Yeah. And so the more you do that, the more that pathway is going to be created. Yeah. And then that's your pathway. That's your automatic connection. Yeah. So it's going to go there always. Now, that's not to say just then don't do it anymore. But the point is once you've taken the time to make that pathway, you are going to do it because it's automatic. Yes. You'd have to actively focus on doing it your old way to get that pathway to go back. Yes. Now, I always think you have to be careful with that as well, because especially because I've seen it with my clients and I've seen it with me. You do have some habits die hard. Right. You know, like you have to be on it for quite a while. And there might be times where you consciously have to think, I'm going to actually put in an effort to make sure I do that, because you can slip back into your old ways. Yeah. I do think you have to be aware of that as much as you can create these neural pathways. You know, I don't know exactly what's going on. Have they not connected completely? Or, you know, like once you have an old pathway, is it so ingrained that it's quite easy to slip back to it if you're not careful? I don't know, maybe. But all I know is that don't be complacent. No. I would never be complacent now. Let me give you an example with like washing my face. Yeah. So I went through a stage for years where I was really hot on my skincare. And I couldn't have imagined not washing my face twice a day with my cleanser, right? I did it for years. And then things happened. Actually, it's probably just before the start of my spiritual awakening, and stuff was going on, and I stopped doing it. And I got out of the habit. Now I've been doing that for years. Yeah. The neural pathways, the connections were there, you know, and I stopped. And I didn't stop. I didn't do it. No. It was just not a priority. I didn't do it at all. And so one of the things I did as like a little, you know, I do these things for myself. I like to use small examples to prove to myself for the bigger things. So I was like, right, I feel like I spoke about this on my social media a while ago. I was like, I need to just get back to myself more, take care of myself more. I need to do that. And that would be like, you know, eating more healthy, going to the gym. Now they're bigger things that I know are going to take more effort for me to change. But washing my face was a nice, easy example of me prioritizing taking care of myself and forming a new habit. So every morning I would force myself, as much as I was going, oh no, I'm too tired, don't worry, I've brushed my teeth. No, I'd make myself wash my face. And every time I did it, I was like, I am changing my neural pathways. I'm doing this for me. And if I can do this, I can do it with the bigger things. Yeah. And there are bigger things than going to the gym and eating as well. It gets just bigger and bigger and bigger. But do it on the little things. Prove to yourself that you can do it on the little things. Yeah. And then you hold that proof and that belief that if you can do that for them, you can do it for the bigger ones. But again, we all want to run before we can walk. Take it slow, take it easy. Now, I had to actively, I reckon for about 2.5 weeks, I had to actively force myself to make sure I wash my face. I had to talk myself into it. And then I noticed there's a change, because again, this is like, I'm so aware of my awareness now. Right. I'm so conscious of my consciousness, like we talked about before. It was making me laugh. I was making myself laugh because I'd get to the bathroom, I'd be brushing my teeth, and then I'd hear this voice go, don't wash your face today. And then I was always like, ha! And I was already squeezing the face wash into my hand as the voice was going, don't bother washing your face today. And I was like, it's so funny. It's so funny because that proved that I had changed those pathways, and my new automatic habit was to wash my face because I was doing it on autopilot while my voice was still going, don't do it.
Yeah.
And that's just such, that's what I mean, when you become aware of your consciousness, you can detach from these thoughts and just laugh and think, oh, bless, that's funny, isn't it? You know, but
such
you
a good
still
example.
have to, you have to do the work. It does. And now, like, you know, I will still say, come on, don't forget, you're washing your face. I still do it consciously because I am always aware that you can slip back.
Yeah.
So again, it's just I suppose just a cautionary warning that don't get complacent.
Yeah.
And I know we started off by talking about the hypnosis audios. Don't think I've noticed changes now. Oh yeah, I feel so much better. Right. I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
Because that's what we all do. As humans, we all do that.
Yeah.
I feel better now. I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
Do it with medication. I feel better. I'm going to stop taking medication now. Not that I'm condoning medication because I don't, but nevertheless, it's a good example because I'm sure a lot of people, you know, I know so many people that start taking antibiotics and then don't finish them, and it's like the worst thing you can do. Just a lesson there. Please finish taking your course of antibiotics if you have an infection. Dr. Tash is coming through. I know, I can't help it. I'm so like, I don't like medication. Please take your antibiotics. I'm so confused. This is the thing though, I'm a bit holistic. I like to take all of my beliefs. Like, I'm not against anything because I think there's a place for everything. I truly do. I'll never say don't do this. Well, I will say don't watch information that makes you feel disempowered. I will say that. I would never
think that's a good idea.
But anyway, oh my God. Reel it back in, Tash. Come on. Where was I? What was I even talking about?
Sorry, that was my fault.
No,
you're talking about the medication.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
You would never say.
Yeah, I was like, don't get complacent.
Yeah.
Like, don't get complacent. If you start listening to your recordings and feel like you're getting better, keep going.
Yeah.
Like I said, any day I don't listen to my hypnosis audios is a day I feel, or an evening, sorry, I feel wasted.
And you could get a little, and I'm sure you have like a little collection.
Oh yeah,
of all the different things that you can switch to.
Absolutely.
So you don't necessarily, at first, I expect when you're working on a particular problem, you have to listen to the same one.
Yeah. So what I say to my clients is when because they get a new recording every session we do.
Right.
I will always say to them, listen to this for at least 2 weeks.
Okay. Before you switch.
Yeah, at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, I will listen to my recordings for months before, but and I have a whole little bank.
Yeah.
But I know that it's good to listen to something solid, especially when you're working on those deep beliefs, the deep ingrained beliefs. You know, I'm good enough. I love myself. I'm worthy of love. Things are always working out for me. Those kind of you got to bash through quite a few layers of bricks and breeze blocks to get through them. So I would say stay consistent, stay on it all the time.
Yeah.
But never not. I mean, so many people use the Calm app now, don't they? And I love Calm. I used to use Calm. I think I found it I was listening to Calm back in 2017 or something.
Early.
Yeah, I was. And I really found that it really helped me sleep. And I do love Calm and I love the stories. But now I'm like, I don't want to listen to Calm because why would I just listen to a story when I can listen to stuff that's empowering me and helping me like see my reality in a different way and helping me progress and achieve my goals and find happiness and peace, etc. Because that's what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you want to try hypnosis and you're not ready to work with someone, absolutely give it a go. Find a hypnosis audio that you like. You can buy them as well. People sell them. Oh, I should probably say as well, I have free hypnosis audios that you can find on my Instagram that you can download. There's one for sleep. I think I've just got the sleep one. And then I've got the personal power booster, which is one that I created specifically for the specific women that I work with, people pleasers, women that feel like that, you know, then there's more to them than they're achieving, trouble speaking up for yourself, building resilience, building self-worth, self-esteem, self-love, that kind of empowerment.
Yeah.
Then I also have that, and that's £9, but it's so worth the £9. Like, I'll leave the link in the show notes to that.
Yeah.
I've listened to it. Like, I I've had so many people that have just said that has in itself has been, it hits everything. I created it specifically with like a person in mind, and it's powerful. So you can also listen to that, and then at least I suppose you get a taste of me as well, I guess. There are a lot of people that are going to sleep at night listening to the sound of my voice. It cracks me up. I've got husbands and wives. I've got kids and parents. It's wonderful. And you just to put your minds at rest, I'm never ever saying anything except like empowering, motivating, like amazing stuff.
They are.
Yeah, you listen to my.
I do. I listen, and my husband.
Yes,
got him onto it. So,
and your
we are one of those families,
as well, haven't they? Actually, yeah, that's it.
Tash is on an altar in my house.
Stop it.
Our angel.
But anyway, yes. So you can head to my Instagram to find them. I'll put the link to the personal power booster in the description notes as well. I hope I have. I don't know how I thought this one was going to go, but it's gone in directions that I didn't think it was going to go. No, I wasn't expecting to. I was just like, I wanted to talk about what hypnotherapy is, what it isn't, but it's kind of.
I think that was a really good coverage of everything. That was brilliant.
I hope that has kind of enlightened you guys a little bit more to what hypnotherapy is, if you've ever been wondering what it is. Maybe demystified it a little bit, taken away any fear, because there is no fear. It's like, I know, some people think it's like the devil's work, which it doesn't upset me because I don't care. They can think what they want. But it's just it makes me so sad that people
wasted.
don't. Like everybody that comes in here, all my clients come in here and go, I just wish more people knew the power of hypnosis. I wish I'd found it sooner. I wish I'd found you sooner, because it's so powerful. It's just transformational, and we can all use it, and it gives us it gives you, well, like I said, it gives you a key to your soul. Ooh, I like that. It does. It gives you a key to your soul. It helps you understand yourself in ways that you have never understood yourself before. And
in your therapy, to be fair, like I know there's probably a lot of other people maybe doing it similar to you, but like I've been to a hypnotherapist before, and it is nothing like what you do. And it is, so you're not maybe necessarily, if you just go to anybody, you're not necessarily going to get what you're giving.
Thank you.
Because I've been to one, and it's literally relaxing. You get a script read to you, a generic one for everybody, and then off you go. And the one I went to didn't even give me a recording. I know, right? Oh my God. So it was nothing like what you provide. So be careful. Like you don't. You're not necessarily getting what Tash can give and all these amazing things that she does. You might literally just go in and get a script read to you, and off you go, and you'll be like, oh, what was that Natasha Braniff on about? But you've got to get the right one.
That's true, because I've had a lot of clients come in, and when they've had hypnotherapy before, they just said it was just awful, or it didn't work for them, or they didn't feel the way they felt when they come in to see me. And again, like I'm proud. I say that proudly. I don't feel like I'm blowing my own trumpet. I know I'm good. I know I'm good, but I'm good because I've put so much. This is my calling. I'm so, like, I feel so privileged, so lucky to be able to say I found my calling in life. And I cannot, like, wherever I go with hypnotherapy and whatever I do, I cannot imagine never doing it in some form. I understand it. It's like when I first learned it, it was like I was remembering. I was remembering it. I wasn't learning it. And so
it was so familiar.
It just all made sense to me. And the parts that didn't make sense to me, I went out and found and made them make sense to me. And that's what I mean, like going back to like the beginning with the whole spiritual journey coming at the same time as the hypnotherapy journey. I don't think that was any coincidence. It was meant to be that way so that I could do the hypnotherapy that I do here. And that's why, like, I'm now helping other hypnotherapists to do it as well.
How amazing is that?
And I hope that more and more hypnotherapists can start working in this way.
Yeah.
I want to create my own training course and train hypnotherapists in this way.
That looks amazing.
Yeah, because I don't want that. I don't want people, and it's
Yeah.
not the hypnotherapist's fault.
And
It's
they're
just how they're
there-
taught,
And
isn't
they're
it?
there because they want to heal,
Of
want to
course.
help.
Yeah, of course, that's it. You know, it's just we only know what we've been taught, and it's only because
Yeah.
I'm just an incessant learner and I have a passion for knowledge and I cannot stop, and it's a curse. It's a blessing and a curse. But fortunately for me, for this and for my clients, it's been a great thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope that more people will be able to see hypnotherapists and come away saying, well, that was an incredible experience, not like hypnotherapist was rubbish, and tell everybody else don't bother doing hypnotherapy because it's no
exactly.
good.
That's
Yeah.
no. I feel there should be another word for what you do.
Maybe you need to think.
Maybe
of
make
one.
some suggestions on our Facebook page. Tash rebrand herself as, she's so much more than a hypnotherapist.
I'm still searching for the word. I don't know what it is that I do. It's like something to do with the soul, though.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
But we'll have to come up with something. Yeah, give us suggestions. Something to do with the soul. Anyway, tangent. Okay.
Wow, that was amazing.
Oh,
I found that really
good.
useful.
Good. I hope everybody found that useful, more insightful, and maybe made you feel more interested in learning more about hypnotherapy.
Yeah. If you're on the edge of thinking about different therapies you could go to, I mean, you know, I mean, it trumps a psychologist any day. Sorry if you're a psychologist.
I think there is a place for every. I know we said earlier about counsellors and honestly, like everybody, there is a place for everybody.
That's,
and no therapy is better than any other.
Because like you said, the key is it has to resonate with you. But I'm guessing everyone listening to us are going to resonate with the same things as us, isn't it?
I think so. And I just think you also have to be at different stages in your evolution, different stages in your journey, because you might, a lot of people that come to me have already seen counsellors and therapists and they've got so much from them.
Yes.
So much
for that stage
in their
life.
But then they're like, but they don't give me any steps forward. So I understand myself and I know what I've got to do, but how do I do it? Because they're not telling me how to do it. And that's where I can step in and go, come on then, let's get down to the work. Yeah, it's great. I love working with people that know themselves. Yeah, because they can come into me. It takes away a load of work for me. Yeah, they already can tell me that they have this limiting belief and they see themselves this way and this way. And I know I can go deeper and we can pull a little bit more out. We can join the dots together. Mm-hmm. They already have a sense of themselves. So now I can say, great, let's not talk about it anymore. Let's just do the hypnosis. Let's just do the reprogramming. Let's do the healing. Let's go visit back to your childhood and get to the event, the reason why you have that belief that you now know you have. Let's just wipe it out. Like, let's heal it. Let's give you even deeper understanding so that you can move forward. So yes, I do just want to say there is a space for like counselors and therapists and all of the above, but hypnotherapy takes it a step further and allows you to actually make those changes. And that's why I love it. And that's why my clients love it, because they're like, I've tried to do this, make these changes for years and years and years, and I haven't been able to do it. And now within the space of 3 months, I've cracked it and so much more. So that being said, if you would like to know more about hypnotherapy, about working with me, you can find all my information down in the episode notes. Come visit me if you don't already on Instagram, where I do loads of like little videos. Like I said, you can find the free sleep hypnosis, or you can find the personal power booster in the show notes as well. Come join us on our Facebook group, and I think that's it, isn't it?
That is it, yeah.
If you have any questions as well about hypnosis or anything we've said and you want to know a little bit more, either come over to Instagram and DM me, or come onto our Facebook group and ask the questions there. Because remember, when you ask questions, other people are going to get a benefit from it as well, which is why we wanted to do that community group, isn't it? Yeah. We've been a bit quiet over there. We had a chat about that, didn't we? We're going to get more active on there. We want to kind of share more, but we'd really love it if you guys shared on there as well, because ask us questions, ask us anything, and we can, we love it. Like, we'd love to answer them. And also any, suggestions for show episodes that you'd like us to do, any content that you'd like us to cover, any questions, anything, literally anything, we can talk about any situation of yours, any scenario, and we can turn it. No, I can. And we can turn it into like a spirit. We can put it from a spiritual lens or a psychology lens, and say, right, this is what you would want to do next, and this is how I go about it, and this is the kind of work you could do. So please come on and get onto that Facebook group and ask us, because it gives us content, it gives us stuff to talk about, but also we can try and help as well. Have a little therapy session. And on that note, we are going to stop talking now. It's a long one.
Well, and you could keep going.
I could. I've got to stop. We've got to go now. I've got to walk the dogs. So you've got to go. I've got to walk the dog. Right, we're going.